If you are like me, full of ambition, but the only thing stopping you is laziness, then you are in the right video, because I'm gonna give you systems that will help you to overcome laziness and to overcome all the things and all the excuses that you make for yourself. And these are actual systems that I use and that works for me and that changed my life, that helped me improve so fast. So it won't be the generic advice that you see everywhere, like make your bed, wake up early, like if that's going to magically make you more successful. And let this stay between us. I still don't make my bed. But anyway, let's get started. The first thing I want you to do is to take a pen and a paper and carefully write everything that's stopping you from achieving those goals of yours. So it could be friends, it could be family, it could be inconsistent sleep, it could be old habits, it could be anything. You should sit carefully and think about them, and every time you notice something that is stopping you, write it down on that paper. And you'll tell me, why are we doing this? I'll say that figuring out and understanding the problem is half the solution. So take this step seriously and write them down carefully. Only after you consider this step carefully and you wrote down everything that is stopping you from achieving the goals of yours and every distraction that you faced until now, we'll move on to actually building the systems. So before we go and start doing that, we want to agree on something. We will be strictly using paper and a pen, not your phone, not your PC, because we don't want you to be distracted every second of writing these things down or every second of checking out your tasks. We want you to have a clear mind, and sadly that can only be achieved in this age if you are working with a pen and a paper, because a paper doesn't have notifications. So choose a paper and a pen. Now, after we agreed on that, now we can get started. So we're going to use two papers. So either you use a notebook or two pieces of paper, but I prefer to use a notebook. So take your notebook and take two papers or two pages that are not from the same paper. So you will have to look at them both at the same time. You don't have to flip the paper each time. So in the first paper, we're going to write 5 or 6 non-negotiables, and these are going to be your new default. No matter what happens in your life, these ones shouldn't be skipped, shouldn't be ignored. They should always be managed and they should always be done every day. And I'll give you an example. Wake up at 7 a.m. Don't make it too hard, because there are days that you will have some things popping up out of nowhere and you won't be able to do these things. But the whole purpose of this is that you don't skip them. So make them and adapt them to your needs and to your schedule. There are people who have work, there are people who have uni, there are people who have school. Adapt them to your needs, but don't skip them. These are non-negotiables. Wake up at 6 a.m., go for a daily walk. It's your job to write them out. Choose them carefully, but don't go very hard, because as I said, you don't have the right to skip those. And when you skip them, you should punish yourself. And I'll get to that by the end of the video, and I'll tell you how to bounce back if you skipped these. And now we're gonna move on to the second page. And this is truly where we're going to lay down the foundation for your habit tracker. What I call the habit tracker. So we're going to use two graphs or two tables or whatever you want to call them, but there will be two main sections in the page. The first one is going to be a habit tracker, and the second one will be a sleep tracker. So in the habit, before we dive into how you will draw these things and lay out these things, I'm going to give you a little bit of context. So each and every month of the year is going to have a habit tracker and a sleep tracker. So this page, you will have it for every month of the year. You will have a page for each month. So let's say we are currently on October 2025. You will have a page in which you are going to write October 2025, and you will have a habit tracker and a sleep tracker. And then you are going to lay down every day of that month. So you will go from 1 to and up until 30, 31, depending on the month. And on the top, on the other axis of the graph, you will write each and every habit that you want to track. And these ones should be picked by you, because you are the one who will know what you want to be more consistent at. What 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 do you think will improve your life? So this is, I'm currently giving you room for experimentation, and this is the beauty about this habit tracker. You will experiment every month with new things, and you will see how they affected your life and how consistent you've been at them. So to understand, every day before going to sleep, you will come back, take your notebook, open it, go to the page in which you are having the month that we are currently in, and you are going to check every habit that you've done and skip, or not check, leave it empty, the places where there are habits that you skipped today. And the beauty about this is that when the month ends, you will come back and check that habit tracker, and you will see exactly how well you performed and at each and every habit that you chose at the start of the month. And you will see exactly how well you performed. So you will see what can you improve, what are your strong points, what are things that need more work. So you will have room to improve, and you will know things that you are already good at, so you can reinforce them in the next month. And in the next month, you can choose different habits, experiment with other things, and see how they can affect you, and see how consistent you are at doing them. And in the next axis is the sleep axis. So the next graph, sorry, and the next graph is the sleep graph. And in this graph, we are going to obviously have two axes. So the axis that is going straight down is the one for the days. So we'll go also from 1 up until 30. And the axis that is on the top is going to be for the number of hours that you slept that day. So if you slept 4 hours, we're going to go from 4 hours to 10 hours, because obviously you can't sleep less than 4 hours. And if you did that, please consider fixing your sleep schedule, and you can't sleep more than 10 hours, because also if you did that, then you might as well be dead. So we're going to go from 4 up until 10, and every day you are going to take your pen in the morning before doing anything. The moment you wake up, take your pen, open your notebook, go to the page of the day that you are currently in, and you are going to leave a little dot depending on how much hours you think you slept. You're going to leave a dot right there in the day before that. So if we are on the 4th of October and you woke up in the 5th, you are going to go to the line where we have the 4th of October, and you are going to leave a little dot on it depending on how much hour you slept. So let's say you slept 7 hours, you're going to place a dot corresponding to 7 on the 4th, even though it's the 5th, because you slept yesterday. And the beautiful thing is that when the month ends, you are going to connect all those dots, and you will have a beautiful sleeping graph in which you will see how consistent you've been with sleep, and you will see exactly how sleep affected your consistency with habits. You can take all type of analysis from these things. You will see the habit tracker and the sleep tracker, and you will be amazed of how much things you will be aware of that you weren't aware of before. So to resume what I just said, we're going to have two trackers. We're going to have a habit tracker and a sleep tracker, and they're going to be in the same page. And the habit tracker will tell you exactly how consistent you have been with each and every habit that you picked at the start of the month. And the sleep tracker will tell you how consistent you've been with sleep by looking at the graph. All the data will be there in front of you. So you won't have any excuse to not improve. You will actually start improving. So this is me giving you a system, an actual bulletproof system that will help you to improve. And you don't have any other excuses or reasons to tell me that, oh, this is stopping you, or I can't do it because of this. Having this and applying what I just told you will eliminate all those excuses. And I promise you that if you do exactly what I told you, that you will improve at least by 1% every month, which is very much better than staying in the same place for your whole life. At least 1%. But if you take it seriously, then you will improve loads every month. Every month will feel different from the other. Every month you will learn from the mistakes that you did in the previous one. The mistakes that you weren't even aware of. But now, because of all the data that you have in front of you at the end of each month, you will see exactly the mistakes that you've made and the causes of them. It could be sleep, it could be because of something that happened that day, but it's most likely sleep, because when I personally did this, I noticed that the days in which I didn't get that much sleep are most of the times the days in which I didn't perform that well. So it will be different for everybody, but you will be aware and you will see exactly the problems that you have at the end of every month. And all you gotta do now is figure out your solutions and improve and experiment with new things. It will give you room for experimentation, which will make this process so much fun and much more enjoyable. And now all you gotta do is apply what I told you. Click here to watch more. And as always, stay art.